Welcome to the Omnia Sol Art Show, the glitch art video podcast hosted by Omnia Sol. Episode 27.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll give you a couple minutes.
Okay. Yeah, perfect.
Our soup is chicken and rice, or no, not chicken and rice. Chicken noodle or white clam chowder.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you. Clam chowder.
Clam chowder. Welcome to TOSAS. I am your host, Omnia Sol. And this is the Diners episode, and I am joined by none other than Mitch Mitchell, frequent guest. No, you weren't technically the first guest, right? Because I had Douglas on the Pie Day episode.
Yeah.
But you were the second guest, and you are the third guest.
Hell yeah.
How does that
baby.
make you feel?
I feel really special and cool about that.
I've been wanting to do a diner episode since the start of the show, but obviously started in quarantine and couldn't. But we're going to be glitching some of my favorite diner scenes. Which, do you have any favorite diner movies?
I don't know if I can think of any off the top of my head. I just think of Riverdale when I think of diner scenes. You know?
Part of me wants to do Riverdale, and part of me wants to keep everything I glitch to be 10 years in the past. Just make it less likely to get copyright strikes.
Totally.
But I'm definitely going to do the kind of end diner scene from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
just because it's such an iconic looking Denny's.
Yeah.
My Dinner with Andre, which is technically a restaurant and not a diner, but you don't have many options when you're just making a podcast about people sitting in diners every day.
I'm also thinking, because I spend a lot of time on Twitter, I'm thinking about the scene in the new, the El Camino Breaking Bad special, where he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Jesse?"
Yes. That honestly looks kind of like a Denny's too, but it's got a salad bar. Maybe that's a Big Boy.
Yeah. I
know in Pulp Fiction he wanted it to be an actual Denny's, and Denny's said no.
That's fair.
I think I learned that fact from Katie VHS Girl, because on a different iteration before this podcast was this podcast, we recorded an episode at the Carbondale Denny's.
Nice. That's cool.
I forget which I think that was the Dumpster Pizza Party podcast, which I don't even know if those episodes are still in existence. But yeah, diners, drive-ins and dives.
Yeah.
Maybe I could glitch that.
Hey, that's
diners,
true.
drive-ins and dives.
Yeah.
There's an episode that's 10 years old. We should get Guy Fieri on the show.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I once won a costume contest at my job, dressed as Guy Fieri.
I remember that.
I won first place, and I got a giant trophy, and it's sitting on my desk, which I haven't been to in over a year and a half.
The trophy is sitting.
Yeah.
I remember the pictures of you and Lee.
Yeah.
And just incredible.
Are we ready, or do we need another minute?
I think we need another minute.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I usually whenever I go to a diners, they usually have, yes. Oh, okay, so here they call it the waffle special. At Golden Nugget, they call it the waitress special, which is just a waffle, 2 eggs, and then a choice of meat.
Yeah, that's a classic,
The chicken and waffles is pretty good here, too, because it comes with a bacon waffle.
I'm thinking about some type of special Nutella pancakes. I'm just a sucker for Nutella breakfast foods.
Nutella's so good. But
it would be really sick to get some eggs and bacon, classic diner meal.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were at a diner? Probably
The last time I tried to go was last week, and that's when I found out that they closed at 4 now, and it used to be a 24/7 place.
Yeah.
But the last time I sat in a diner was, oh my god, I don't even know.
It might have been last time might have been when you and me and Jordan went to a diner.
Yeah,
Like-
when we went to Golden Nugget.
Yeah, like
I know I've been here.
So long
I've been
ago.
here, Hollywood Diner, because I used to go by myself quite a bit if I was ever just like really craving diner food.
yeah.
And I went one time after in 20, maybe early 2020 before the pandemic, because I went
Yeah.
to, it might have been even before masks. Yeah, it had to be before masks, because I don't think I was going to restaurants when masks became a
No,
thing.
totally.
But I went like shortly after the new year, when I went to file my taxes, because I like took it to a place, and then I think I like went here to like wait for them to do it and got some diner food.
Yeah.
Because it used to be my kind of tradition to like go here and then like go to the bookstore, see a movie.
Yeah.
Or like after a movie, I love to go to a diner. Like I love, even though it's basically a diner, and sometimes they serve breakfast, but like Steak and Shake,
Yeah,
is such
that's
a
a diner,
good,
sort of.
Yeah, it's such like a good after movie.
It
place.
really is. Especially in Carbondale, our only two options for 24-hour restaurants were Denny's and Steak and Shake.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually remember that I did go to a diner in Alaska when I had, like, my flight didn't go out, and I needed a space, like, a place to just hang out for a couple hours to kill before my next flight. So I went to a diner, and that was a really good experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like a 24-hour place, or is it just like...
I don't remember. I was just there during the day.
Yeah.
But, yeah, very nice people.
Your flight just like get canceled, or what happened to it?
So they had us board the flight. I had taken my little edible and my Xanax, and I was ready to sleep because it was a midnight flight. It was supposed to land at like 8 in the morning. And as soon as the edible hit, and as soon as they were like, they had just finished doing the little safety demonstrations, they were like, okay, just kidding, everybody has to get off the plane. And we were all like, what? And it was like, midnight. And then they were like, yeah, we had horrible problems with the plane, and we had to fly someone in from Arizona to fix it.
I think so. Are you ready?
You go first.
I'm gonna get the waffle special.
Sure.
With bacon, and could I have the 2 eggs over easy?
Okay.
And I'm gonna have the special Nutella pancakes.
Sure. Did you want whip and sugar?
Sure, yeah.
Anything else?
I think that'll be it.
Good one? All
Thank
right,
you so much.
These, and I'll bring them warm up on coffee.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, what were you... Alaska... So there was a problem
So-
with the plane, they made you all get off.
Yeah, so then it was like, by the time we got out of the airport, it was like 4 in the morning, and they got us a hotel and everything, and that was like pretty nice hotel. But yeah, we couldn't fly out until like 4 p.m. the next day.
Wow.
So I was really there for a whole extra day.
Yeah. That happened to... I had a similar experience, but it was my fault, where I was supposed to get on Amtrak to go to St. Louis for an art show that I was tabling at. And fortunately, I was able to get another train, but you have to be there like within like 5 minutes before to board.
Oh,
and I was
yeah.
there right at the time, because now if I have to take Amtrak, I will just pay the money, get a Lyft or an Uber, and like get to there. But like at the time, I was like very, very broke and taking public transit. And which, I mean, I still take public transit all the time, but if you're going to the airport or the train station, you should probably get a car to make sure that you're there on time, because who knows when the train's going to get delayed,
Totally.
But yeah, so I showed up like right at boarding time, and they're like, sorry, like we've closed the gates, and like
Damn.
very upset, and I ended up having to like spend most of the day, because I didn't want to leave downtown, so I was just like spent most of the day downtown. But I did. There was a 24-hour. Granted, it was like the daytime, so I could have gone whenever, but there was a diner there, and so like I did get to sit down and have dry my tears with a pancake.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess there's only so much we can say about diners, even though this is the diner episode. But one thing I've been wanting to talk to you about in general, in terms of art, is that it dawned on me that unintentionally, a lot of the art I do, but especially the glitch art I do, would count as a cut-up. And
yeah.
I do want to do like a further explanation, like just a cut-up episode talking about the concept of cut-ups. But cut-ups kind of align so well with the concept that you brought to me that kind of brought me on this glitch art journey. And that's the concept of glitch craft.
Yeah.
Where you take, for the listeners, or I guess watchers, the concept is the combination of glitch art with witchcraft, but especially sigils, which it was popularized with like chaos magic. That goes back a lot further, but of just like the contemporary concepts came out of chaos magic, but of like taking a desire, taking the letters, cutting it up, making a symbol that you communicate with your subconscious to try to manifest that desire into the material world. The cut up kind of came about with, I guess, was it William Burroughs?
Yeah, I believe
by
so.
accident?
Yeah, because he was like too high to write correctly.
It was when he was writing Naked Lunch, right?
Yeah.
That he sent the chapters to his... Oh, yeah.
That story.
You know that story too? Cool.
I know that story.
Yeah, but sent the chapters to his publisher, and then like they were out of order, and it just kind of stayed that way, and then like became these like vignettes.
Yeah.
But then like further just kept using the cut up in his like future projects. And like other people like...
He was a huge influence on David Bowie, who did all of his songwriting that way as well.
Oh, really?
So, like,
Really?
write out paragraphs and then cut up random sentences and words and mix them all up in
God,
order.
I did not know
Yeah.
that.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that
he did
about
that.
Bowie. That's
Yeah, he
really
did
cool.
that.
I knew Bowie had done like cut ups kind of just with his identity.
Yeah,
Just like
sure.
having the different characters and
Yeah.
just like...
Yeah, but he was a huge fan of Burroughs. He wrote that way for most of his career.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because do you know the
Love
band?
Burroughs.
Do you know the band Psychic TV?
Yes. of course.
Yeah. So because I know like Genesis would do that a lot with like, especially like the acid tapes of like doing cut ups of like using samples
Right.
and like taking different parts of songs to make like a collage of sound.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Um,
Have a good day.
But yeah, how did you kind of like find out about like glitchcraft?
Well, so I started by just in college. I really wanted to make glitch art, and then I figured out that method with the like JPEGs and or the TIFFs. I mean,
The BMP.
Yeah.
Do you use TIFFs or do you use BMP, or what do you use for?
I haven't done it in so long that when I recently tried to go back and do it, I couldn't figure it out. But
I have never done it with TIFFs, but it could be possible. I've always brought it into... You're talking about the Audacity method?
yeah,
I've always brought in BMPs as raw data, but I want to try it with TIFFs to see what would happen. But I know with JPEGs, TIFFs, and also BMPs, you can just like open up the code and start just typing stuff.
I think that was what I was doing in AI and Notepad, was like doing it with TIFFs. But I really don't remember anymore. I'll have to have you re-show me how to do it.
Yeah.
But so I developed that method, or like learned that method basically, and then kind of developed the concept of glitchcraft because I was like, oh, I could like put messages in here that would be, unreadable to people or invisible to people.
Yeah.
And then I just, kind of started using it to like try to manifest things and like put out the ideas that I wanted to come back to me.
Because it becomes like invisible to you too, like at least in because like the sigil, it's like you're creating this symbol or this glyph like from these letters, but then with like putting it in the actual code of the picture, it's like you can't see that at all, like unless you're like in the Matrix, like watching the numbers like come down the screen. Like when you're looking at an image, you can't see the code that's behind it. But just like knowing it's there and then kind of like forgetting about it.
Yeah, totally.
Has like, I don't know, just very interesting effects, like especially in terms of, for me, especially with time.
Yeah.
Just because like you kind of like forget that you've like put something out there, and then when it like manifests, you like think back on it, or just like think back on, I don't know. I did an episode about time travel that was very much like kind of scatterbrained, but I don't know, I feel like it's like very, we're coming up on that technology very soon.
Totally,
Thank you so much.
yeah.
You're welcome. And your meals are on their way, so
Awesome, thank you.
you are welcome.
Oh, I should have brought a tarot deck. We could have done card of the show.
Oh, yeah.
At the diner.
Oh, we can use my app.
We could use your app, or you wouldn't happen to have playing cards on you.
I don't.
I don't either. I should start carrying a pack though.
Yeah.
Because I recently learned how to do with playing cards.
Yeah,
And
which
it's-
which suit is which?
The clubs are the wands. The spades are the. I don't remember what the spades are. It's a shovel. So it's earth, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Pentacles.
What are the other ones? Diamonds are pentacles.
Oh, okay. Diamonds are pentacles.
Wait, no, diamonds are pentacles, so that'd be earth.
Yeah.
Because it's like diamonds, money, pentacles, coins.
And then the other ones are spades and
Spades and...
this is not good. I don't even
Clubs?
know what cards look like. Yeah, clubs.
Yeah.
Oh, clubs could be
Clubs are wands.
Yeah.
Because like a club like to like
right.
hit someone with.
I guess you can kind of do it however you want.
Yeah, but I think there are associations because the actual playing cards are like based on tarot cards.
Oh.
But
Wow.
like, because tarot cards themselves were like Italian playing cards.
Yeah.
The main difference is that the playing cards are just the minor arcana.
Mhm.
Like there's no trump cards.
Yeah.
With them. So I forget I think it's the director who did like Holy Mountain.
Oh, cool.
But there's some like tarot video where he's talking about like, because they don't have the major arcana, like poker cards are cards without God.
Whoa.
But I actually like kind of disagree because I feel like people don't like, everyone wants the major arcana, but like the minor arcana can be like so much more useful.
Definitely, yeah. That's cool.
Just in terms of like counting, because like you think of like swords, which would, so diamonds, if I'm getting correctly, diamonds earth, clubs, wands are fire. Spades would be swords because a shovel
yeah.
and a sword, so like
Yeah.
like an instrument of cutting. Where like, but it's like the nice thing about both playing cards and just the minor arcana in general is that because they have numbers associated with them. If swords mean just like general war and conflict, like 10 is more than 3.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you have like an issue or a conflict and you get the 10 of swords, you know that this is like a bigger amount.
Yeah.
Or same with coins, of like 10 coins being more than 3 coins.
Yeah.
Yeah, so diamonds, pentacles, clubs, wands, spades, swords. What's the other suit? Hearts, which
Hearts.
is cups.
Cups, totally, yeah.
That makes sense. That totally makes sense. Do you want to do a reading on your app?
Yeah, let's do it.
Also, I'm glad that this is seemingly, the phone is still recording, and also the tape recorder, you can see it going,
Nice.
is still recording.
Where did it? Oh.
Do you still do card of the day?
I haven't in a
Here
while.
you go.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh my
Awesome.
god, amazing.
Yeah.
Thank
Go,
you
honey.
so much.
You're welcome.
He's wonderful.
Any hot sauce or anything?
Ooh, I'll take some hot sauce.
I'm
Yeah.
good. Thank you though.
Enjoy.
Actually, what? There's hot sauce right there.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do card of the day?
No, I haven't in a long time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I kind of do it religiously.
Yeah.
I will do card of the day on the app, and then I'll set it as my phone background.
Nice.
Unless it's an exceptionally negative card,
Mm-hmm.
in which case I'll do the strength card.
Yeah.
Because I just need a little extra strength.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are going to do card of the day on Mitch's app. Should we just do today's card, or should we do draw a card?
I don't know. Which one do you prefer? I usually like to just draw a card.
Let's do draw a card. Okay, we got the Fool,
Nice.
which is beginnings. Got the dog there, which is supposed to be the Fool's intuition, going on a journey, but also kind of like at a threshold in the sense of the Fool is standing on top of this mountain, and there is this like sense of adventure, but also the sense of like be careful because you could fall off. The sun is shining, the waves are going. It's a perfect day, just like it's a perfect day outside. What does the Fool kind of tell you?
It does kind of feel like new beginnings, you know? It's
Yeah.
kind of felt like that the last, like, 2 or 3 months, honestly, just after being in quarantine and then now being able to do stuff.
Everything, yeah.
I mean, we're about to go to a movie theater for the first
Yeah.
time. My first time at a movie theater,
Yeah.
probably since seeing Cats.
Yeah, and,
So-
as I said, we're going to see F9 the Fast Saga, and right after, you didn't have cell service at the time, but right after I saw it, I was like, F9 the Fast Saga means to me what Cats 2019
Yeah.
means to you. Because it's probably one of the stupidest movies I've ever seen, but I loved every second of it.
Yes.
And I'm going to see it in the theaters for a second time. I am definitely a fast head.
Yeah, I saw Cats in theaters 4 times.
That's so funny.
It was great. I mean, truly one of the best eras of my life.
It's funny, in the song, so we're talking about the cut up and like manifesting stuff. In the song Movies, I talked about how I just want to go to a movie theater and I just want to watch the dramatic family drama of the Fast and the Furious family. And fortunately, we're about to go do that.
That's us right
How's
now.
everything?
Wonderful.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I guess do you want to read the definition of the card?
Mm-hmm.
The book one? And then I can auto-tune you in post.
Yeah. Do you want me to just read the divinatory meaning?
Yeah, under
Okay.
upright.
Upright. New beginnings, adventure, new challenges, opportunities that are often unplanned or unforeseen. Each and every one of us is the divine Fool. It is time for you to move forward along the path. You can no longer turn back. Make the right choice and be prepared to grow stronger as you gain more knowledge. Be aware, there are always pitfalls that lie along any path you take. Pay attention to your dog, your instincts, and you will achieve your goal. Remember that ignorance is folly, not bliss. Learn as much as you can about what you wish to accomplish. Allow yourself to dream about your ultimate goal, but do not attempt to reach for the impossible. You still have a long way to go and a bag to fill with knowledge and self-knowledge before your dreams manifest.
Awesome. And that has been your card of the show. This waffle is incredible.
It looks really good. My pancakes are also incredible.
It's Nutella and strawberries on it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And bananas.
What do you think of next?
Honestly.
I had a milkshake the other day. It was not great.
Damn. What kind of milkshake?
I ordered a peanut butter chocolate milkshake.
Mm-hmm.
I got a peanut butter banana, which normally would be fine because I do love like natural banana, especially in milkshakes.
Mm-hmm.
But the chocolate in this was like not. It was like clearly like chocolate syrup, but just not mixed well.
That's
And
sad.
it just like had it didn't have a great flavor to it.
That's very sad.
But love a good milkshake, even though my body does not appreciate it.
That's a classic diner food right there. Milkshakes.
Oh, yeah.
Very important.
Definitely. I wonder if they have milkshakes here. I've never had them if they do.
Yeah. I bet they do.
I haven't had over easy eggs in a long time. Anytime I've had diner food since the pandemic, because honestly I don't cook eggs that much,
Same.
even though it's like cheap and
Super
pretty fast.
easy, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, but if I ever order diner food from like a delivery place like during the pandemic, I'd always order scrambled.
Yeah.
Not that scrambled are very good, but it's just like I know they can transport better.
Yeah, they travel well. Yeah, I've gotten into making smoothies. I make the same smoothie like 4 times a week, It's bananas, peanut butter, oatmeal, and almond milk. And you put a little maple syrup in there and
That
some
sounds
cinnamon.
so good.
It's so good. But I made it yesterday with a banana that was way too green. Threw the entire thing off.
Really?
Completely destroyed the balance of the smoothie.
Wow.
But I drank the whole thing anyway because I'm very stubborn.
Yeah. Was that what your post about was like if you make food and it's bad, do you still eat it?
Yeah.
Because I still do. Unless it's like horrible,
Yeah.
it's like I'm not wasting it.
Same. I just am too stubborn usually to get rid of it, and
Yeah.
it does feels wasteful. But sometimes it's truly so bad that you just can't go on, and I respect that.
Dipping my bacon into the maple syrup here, I feel partially like Special Agent Dale Cooper,
Yeah.
where he talks about how there's nothing like the sensation when maple syrup collides like ham, collides with ham. But I also feel kind of like Homer Simpson, because there's an episode where I think it's when Lisa goes vegetarian, but I'm not positive on that. But there's an episode where I just remember Homer yelling at Bart because he's not buttering his bacon. He's like, butter that bacon. Are you getting Crisis Zone when it comes out?
I think I ordered it, yeah.
I haven't ordered it yet. I'm probably just gonna go to Quimby's when it comes out.
Yeah.
I was just referencing The Simpsons. I always think about Meg, Mog, and Owl, just because
Totally.
that's like the contemporary sitcom for the majority of us.
I love that. That's really, yeah. I love how much he's been posting old comics on Instagram.
Yeah. Someone asked like early on, like after Crisis Zone, was like, "Is this new?" And what he was just like, "No, it's just summer rerun season," which is so funny to me.
That is really funny. Yeah, I repost a lot of those frames in my stories, even though I've read all of it pretty much.
Yeah.
And I have had conversations with, like, as a result of that, had conversations with people who are like, yeah, no, I've never, like, experienced any of these comics before, and this is my first time. And I'm like, this is really cool that he's posting all these on Instagram and getting all these new fans and stuff.
Yeah, did you, back on Tumblr, did you follow Tire House?
It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
Kind of famous. Well, I knew them from Springfield, but kind of famous, Tumblr famous person, artist, musician, cartoonist. That's who I first found out about Simon Hanselman's work through. Was specifically when Life Zone was going on sale. They retweeted Simon, the Girl Mountain account, was like,
Yeah.
Everyone needs to buy this comic. And did you ever read Happiness comics? It was like an anthology thing that came out, like, I think they did like at least 5, but it's a bunch of different like alternative cartoonists.
I don't think so.
But Tire House had recommended Happiness, and I really liked that, so I was like, okay, like, definitely taking this recommendation, and I'm so glad I did.
Totally.
Because it was like, it's life-changing. It's so
It
good.
is. It really has been. I think I found out about Meg, Mog, and Owl through Tumblr, probably, because I remember definitely following Girl Mountain. But I also think I was aware of... I don't know, I think I was aware of Simon also through the Vice comics, because I used to religiously read the Vice comics.
I remember when he started doing the Vice comics, he brought over just a lot of really great, like the Blobby Boys. Did you ever read that comic? I forget the name of the cartoonist, but Alex Schubert, Zine Police. That cartoonist has done some animation for like Adult Swim too, like
That's cool.
like shorts and stuff. It's so funny how like hit or miss Vice is as a company.
Definitely,
Because
yeah.
like the Vice comics are really awesome. the if he ever gets back into making TV. Did you ever watch Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia?
No.
So good. I think at least I think the first 3 seasons are on Hulu, but it's through like Vice TV. But is this chemist and journalist?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who like explores just the world of like drugs.
Totally.
And has like a different theme for episode.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I think just whoever used to be programming the comics during that time was just so good. I think they haven't been putting nearly as much focus on it in the past couple years, but
it was just a perfect like. I think I'm gonna use the word zeitgeist too much in this episode already, but it was the perfect time for the like alternative comic zeitgeist of like they got like 1 or 2 good cartoonists who just like brought all of their friends over, and because there's always going to be good comics happening,
definitely.
But it's just whether or not the public is made aware of like what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, I think that Vice has not been doing as good with the programming in the past couple of years.
Yeah. I have other than Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia, I have no idea what they even have going on.
Yeah, I don't know.
They had that Action Bronson show where he watches Ancient Aliens.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't particularly like that show. But I thought about glitching just because of like the really funny just like zooming out of like the pyramids and then showing the UFO and like in documentary style. But then like rewatching it, I was like, ooh, that guy is associated with Alex Jones. That guy is associated with Alex Jones.
No.
Like, because they have one of the main people that they keep having on is the current host of Coast to Coast AM.
Yeah.
Which the guy before this guy, who did Coast to Coast AM before, seemed like obviously out there because you're doing like a 4 a.m. like show about aliens and ghosts and stuff.
Yeah.
But he seemed like, as far as the episodes I've heard, seemed like a decent human being in the sense of like, if someone was too out there, he'd push back on it. And also every single episode he talked about the dangers of global warming.
Oh, interesting.
Like every single episode. But the new guy, George Norrie, who I say new, but he's been doing it for like years and years.
Yeah.
He's not it's Art Bell or something was the guy before, but the new guy, George Norrie, is like kind of associated with the like Great Wing conspiracy theorists. Like he's had Alex Jones on, which helps to like rehab these like extremist ideas of like making what he says on that show not seem as bad, and then so people listen to his actual show and get the actual like garbage, and also just doesn't push back when like people get really heavy into like the QAnon stuff. And,
totally. Yeah, that sucks.
Because that's if you're gonna get into like conspiracy stuff and weird stuff in general, you need like someone to at least some sort of rational mindset to push back on. Like even when I kind of talk about like out there like new agey or sci-fi stuff on this show, I try to. Granted, I don't have that many watchers, so it's not like it matters. The end of the day, I'm just a blip in the void. But I try to be like, I don't have all the answers. This is just something I'm thinking about.
Yeah, totally.
These are just thoughts I'm trying to formulate.
Yeah. I think it's good to have that attitude just in general, you know. It makes people like and believe you more, you know. Not that like we're trying to like win people over on different theories and stuff like that, but you know,
that like makes you more reliable.
Exactly.
To, like,
yeah, more reliable.
Point out when something's irrational.
Yeah. Do you listen to TrueAnon ever?
I need to.
It's really good. It's the way they just have described it is it's QAnon but true, and it's it's like addressing all of that stuff from like a communist perspective, basically.
Interesting, yeah, because I knew about it through you talking about it, but I always thought it was like exposing like how messed up QAnon was, but it doesn't sound like it actually is.
No, there is a really good podcast about that, though, that they've had guests on there. I don't remember what it's called right now, but it's, like exposing QAnon, basically. But TrueAnon is, like, more, like, addressing other conspiracies, like the Jeffrey Epstein thing is how it started. It started as, like, a Jeffrey Epstein podcast, but they've since, like, branched into, like, a ton of other stuff, like, having stuff about... They had, like, a really long arc about 9/11.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I haven't listened to that at all, but Jen's listened to every episode they've ever put out, and it basically is... Yeah, really, really cool, good stuff. Like, researched by really smart, interesting communists.
Nice. I listen to Knowledge Fight pretty religiously.
Yeah.
Which that is good. That's actually helped me with kind of my thinking about, like, magic or esoteric stuff, is because, like, some of the older, like, Wacky Wednesday episodes, it, like, makes me realize, like, how many grifters there are and how many people, like, associated with this world that are like close to the like right-wing extremists, just like a hop skipping away from, like, that's what the problem with, like, conspiracy theories in general is, that you just, like, so easy to go down these rabbit holes and get lost and then just, like, end up in anti-Semitism, which is weird.
so many of them
roads lead,
end up for some reason.
I think it boils down to, like, people needing a scapegoat for things that are wrong in their life, and then instead of these are, like, systems that have been put in place that are constantly being, like, rebuilt and restructured. Like, even just thinking about capitalism, like, the banks failed, but then they were bailed out. You know, like, the housing market failed, and then it was bailed out. So there's these things keeping it afloat. But it's, like, much easier for people's brains to be like, oh no, it's not, like, the system. It's this, like, group of people that we can put the blame on.
Yeah. Which is really sad and strange to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's like, anti-Semitism in general, it's like, I guess it's just people have never met people.
Yeah.
Because it's like, at least, like, I feel like every American Jewish person I've met is cool.
Yeah.
Like, it is usually, like, cooler than me, so, like, I don't...
Yeah, it's a very mysterious one. I think it's just, like, the way that, you know, things get, culture develops, like, around, like, white American culture has developed, like, around anti-blackness and anti-Semitism and stuff like that.
Any sort of...
Xenophobia.
Yeah, any sort of bigotry. It is xenophobia. Like, it's, like, literally, like, me knowing boomers who, like, think that, like, homosexuality is a sin until they go to a different church and, like, meet an actual gay couple who are Christian, and then, like, completely changes their world.
Right. They're like,
it's like, I've never met anyone who's out, because everyone I know who wants to be out stays in the closet.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
of me, like,
totally.
This is an interesting conversation. It started with diners. And wanted a bit back to a little bit just glitch art and the cut up. So you started just, like, messing with photos and, like, putting that in there. Have you done that with, because we had the episode Variety Hours about your show, have you done that, like, film-wise, of, like, taking cut-ups or taking different parts of time?
Are you finished here over?
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I don't know if I have, like, consciously, but I feel like I use, like, pastiche a little bit, you know?
What's pastiche mean?
Pastiche, I think, is, like using, like, borrowing different things and kind of, like, copy and pasting them together, like, collaging, basically. Okay. And it's, like, very referential. And I've definitely done that a lot.
Yeah, collaging, because I can even think to certain episodes of, like, yeah, this is a reference to John Waters, or this is a reference to David Lynch, and
definitely, yeah. I think that the Variety Hour is very referential, and I think that because of that, it has some elements of the cut-up method without really trying to.
Yeah.
I mean, like, all of, like, modern pop culture is very pastiche, like, or just like thinking about social media, like memes are fully just pastiche, and I think that is cut up in a lot of ways.
It is
too.
cut up, and it loses the origin gets like so separated and
totally
lost from the beginning,
and that's really cool.
Yeah, it is. It's very interesting. Yeah, it's interesting, like, kind of getting more into like vaporwave music and like sample heavy stuff, and like just like cutting up sound.
Warm up over here, honey.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You okay with your coffee?
I'm good, thank you so much.
And like unintentionally, that's what happened with the show. Of like when I first started this as a Twitch show, I just want to be a pirate radio show and just like be a VJ and just make cool visuals. But now like turning into a talking podcast and needing something to talk about, it just like drifted towards like I should make a theme per episode, and then I can kind of curate the footage around it and take and cut up different parts of shows and movies and whatnot. And,
totally.
It's been a very interesting journey. I'm wondering where it's going.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I'm excited about your foray into vaporwave. I think it's...
Thank you. Yeah, you're one of the first people. Granted, we were on the third song when we got out of the car out of 8, but you're the third person, including me, who's heard the album now. It's fun working because it's like I'm already making glitch art with VHS, which is a dead format, and now drifting into a genre which has apparently been dead for but it's like it's been dead, but it's never been actually dead. Like there's always been people doing vaporwave, but dead in the public zeitgeist. I think because I was reading the Wikipedia page, and a lot of it had to do with like musicians who wanted to be like taken more seriously, and so like declaring it dead, and then also just the sample heavy nature of it. It's like very difficult to monetize because then you have to approve all these samples,
right?
And like artists obviously want to be paid for their work. What's you can actually tell me more about C-Punk. Because I actually only know about C-Punk through reading the Vaporwave Wikipedia page and then like listening to some C-Punk. I was always very confused about C-Punk because there was some band when I was in high school that was like a joke band it was like kind of like Dropkick Murphys, but instead of all the songs being about being Irish, they were all like sea shanties about being a pirate. And so I thought for the longest time like C-Punk was just like pirate themed punk songs. When you said that you liked C-Punk, I was very confused. Didn't come to find out later, and it was like the whole genre was based on this tweet from this musician that was talking about someone going to the C-Punk show and having like shell buttons or whatever.
I might be the last living C-Punk fan in Chicago. I don't know what the deal with C-Punk really was. It was just like a very, very brief micro genre of like sort of like vaporwavy, but also like EDM kind of pop music. There was like and it was very visual based as well. I remember it was just really big on Tumblr, and my friends and I got really into it the winter of 2012, and then it pretty much didn't exist after that. Yeah,
because it was even like, wasn't it called like Tumblr Core or something?
Probably, yeah. Like there was an Azalea Banks music video that was very C-Punk, and then there was a Rihanna video that was very C-Punk, and that was like as mainstream as it got, and then also it pretty much was already dead by the time either of them did it.
Which Rihanna video, if you remember?
I don't remember, and also I think it might have been an SNL performance.
Oh, okay. What was the Azalea Banks one? I don't know enough of her catalog.
Yeah, I don't remember either. It might have been Treasure Island or something like that, or that might have been a mixtape. I don't remember. But she had a mixtape called Fantasy.
I remember that one.
And now that's so good. That's such a good mixtape. But I think it was a song from that era that she did like a C-punk kind of video for.
She's one of those celebrities that I never want to talk too much about because I feel like it's similar to like Lil B, where if like you diss Lil B, you'll get the Lil B curse and like things will like fall apart. Like there's just this aura of like power around her that I never want. Like even if I am not a fan, I never want her to find this episode and like and piss her off.
Yeah, my ex-boyfriend Sage had a really good tweet that he wanted to make about Azalea Banks, but he was too afraid to ever tweet it because he was convinced that Azalea would find him or like some type of curse situation would come upon him. And I do believe that is probably true.
Well, because the Little B curse was real, like as far as we know, because it was like he put the Little B curse on this basketball player who did like horribly that year after this basketball player like dissed him, and then he like lifted the curse and the team like won or something. And then also like I don't know if he's lifted it yet, but like he put out like a diss song, like Joey Badass dissed him, and then he put out a diss song on Joey Badass, and like I love Joey Badass, and like a lot of like rap fans love Joey Badass, but like his career has not been as big as it should have been.
Yeah.
Like you don't hear his name really that much. Like I feel like he would have been like his rhyme flowing and his like wordplay and everything. Like he should be like more popular than a lot of artists, and you like don't hear it. He did a great job in Mr. Robot. He was a side character.
Whoa, that's
in Mr.
cool.
Robot.
I didn't know that. Yeah, the Lil B curse. Well,
I guess that's the end of the episode.
wow, we literally got the Lil B curse.
Well, it's 90 minutes on the tape.
Oh.
So yeah, that would be perfect to put them out because it would have been 45 minutes, and I think I had like the first few seconds as I was trying to like record birds outside.
Nice.
And it didn't sound very good because this mic is shit. That's why I'm recording on the phone too. So then for the rest of the ending the episode, we can finish it on.
I think you should just end it with us ominously discussing the Lil B curse, and then
it just going to credits.
Yeah.
I hope it sounds good on the mic. I got it. Yeah, we can finish recording. All right, TOSAS out. Thank you, Mitch, for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.